Welcome everyone to the Run podcast where I have Brandon Thomas and Max Thomas. Who are you guys? What do you do? Let's hear it.
I'm Coach Brandon Thomas, high school track coach, also performance coach, and co-host of The Run.
And my name is Max Thomas. I'm a sprinter at USC, and that's my dad.
Got a little father-son duo here. What was it like growing up as your dad as your coach?
Like, honestly, like I get this question so many times, but like now, like I kind of have a different like perspective because he was a lot more like than my coach. If you've like ever seen me like growing up, I was like always with my dad. So now kind of like looking back on it, like he was my coach, but like I never really saw him like that. Like even like when I was training, like I called him dad and stuff like that. So I was just like always with him.
What's your perspective on the situation?
Coaching my son was probably it was definitely one of the most funnest things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Like by far the funnest thing I've ever done in my life. But there was a lot of moments where we went head to head. A lot of cursing each other out of practice.
Who was right? Who was right?
Yeah.
I'm always right. I've had to kick him out of practice a few times. But with that being said, like being able to coach my son, like that is priceless. And actually the main reason of why I decided to coach in high school. So that was that.
Yep.
That was that.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference like coming from high school to a D1 athlete and just the change and dynamic of it?
Yeah, it's a lot different. At this level, you really don't get like any kind of grace, like I would say. Like obviously like people like care about you, but you know, like you're expected to perform to the like top of your like capabilities, whether that's like the classroom, practice, meets. It's just like really like the same as high school, but like everything just becomes a lot more serious, and you just kind of gotta like double down and double lock in. And there's just like a lot of like lessons that come with it, or like a lot of like maturity, but like also like you really have to learn how to like stay true to yourself. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. That's something that like I have struggled with, to where like I felt like I had to do something that was like beyond like my own like capabilities to be able to perform like how I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like in reality, I just had to like master me. Yeah,
for sure. How have you seen him grow coming into the school at USC and from where he was at in high school to where he is now?
It's funny that you say that because we were just talking about this the other day, right?
we talk about this all the time.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Like he was named captain of his team this year, and I wrote him a text about how proud I was of him.
Yes.
I was trying to get that shit out. How proud I was of him to watch his maturity, to going from where he was as a freshman to where he is now as a junior, and one of the team leaders. So I just let him know that a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you,
Okay.
after playing soccer for so long, like what made you make the switch to go from soccer to track?
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of reasons, but like the main thing, like soccer, like I still love soccer to this day. Like I love playing it. Like I love like seeing my friends do great things in soccer. But like at the end of the day, like it just came down to like what was the better pathway, what was the better and it was just like during a time of life where it was like it was like right after COVID, and like soccer and track were at the same time, and I was like competing in both at the same time. And it was time to start like looking at or not start, but it was time to like figure out like where I'm going to school at. And like at the end of the day, like I just had better track opportunities like on the table for me. And that's the holistic view. There's a lot of like smaller details.
Yeah.
Like I would say that's the main point.
So to follow up on that question, how hard was it to tell me the morning that you decided to quit soccer and focus on track?
Yeah.
Easily 10 grand a year.
Really?
When you playing soccer, when you were like 13 all the way to 17.
Yeah.
Tell me about that morning where your mom called me and said, Max has something important to tell you.
Yeah. So it was the morning right after prom, junior year. And prom was a long night.
Were you feeling okay that morning?
I mean, like not even in that sense. Like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Prom was a long night. So like at the end of the night, I don't know if you had drove home like Justin and Augie.
Correct.
And my mom like took me back to my mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I laid in the bed and stared at the ceiling for the whole night. And like we had practice like the next day, and I had soccer practice first, and then I was gonna do track practice after soccer practice. And I'm just laying staring at the ceiling, and I'm just like something not right. Something has to go, something has to change. I was like so like mentally like overstimulated. There was just like so much going on. I was trying to keep my grades up while playing like 2 sports. But like soccer, like you have like the high school part and like you have the like club part.
Right.
So like I'm really playing like 3 sports at the same time. I'm trying to balance school and I'm trying to like maintain like like a good like social life and stuff like that. So I was just like something's not right, like something has to change. And it was just like the common factor of like all my troubles, I kind of felt like was soccer. And I was like, fuck it. And that night, like I didn't sleep that whole night. I mean, I remember like it was like 6 a.m. and like I had went to see if like my mom was up. Like, and I was like crying. I was full on crying. Like, and I was like, Mom, like, I'm not gonna play soccer no more. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm done. Like, I just want to be like a track athlete. And my mom was like, you okay? Like, you sure? Like, is everything good? I'm like, yeah, no, like everything's good. I just like it's gonna be like nice to be able to not have that. And she was like, well, like, did you tell your dad? And I'm like, well, like, obviously not, right? And so my mom calls my dad and she's like, hey, like, Max got something. And mind you, like, this is what, like 6, 7 in the morning?
It's early.
Yeah. So my mom calls my dad, and my dad lived like right down the street. So it was like,
you live pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. So like my mom like calls my dad, she's like, hey, like, you got to get over here. Like, Max got something to tell you. And like my dad thought I was tripping. Like he thought I was like losing my mind. Like he thought it was some whole other shit. Yeah. So I get in my dad's car, and I don't know how we got there, but I was like, Dad, like I don't want to play soccer now. And he was like, oh, like that's it? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like,
you're like, I stayed up all night for nothing.
Yeah. I was like,
so my story of it was your mom called me at 6:30 in the morning, super early in the morning.
Yeah.
He's like, Max has something really important to tell you.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
It's like he's been crying all morning. Like, just be open-minded.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I wonder what this dude has something to say, right?
Yeah, that's scary. I'd like.
This kid tell me he's like, what? Tell me he's gay or something? What is going on? What could be so hard to tell me that I have to be open-minded for? And so I get there.
Yeah, that's what did it. The whole like open-minded thing. She didn't have to say that. Love you, bro.
I love you too, Amari. I love you too. And so he gets in the car, he's super quiet. I was like, hey man, you good? He's like, yeah, Dad, I'm good. I was like, well, what's up? He was like, I don't want to play soccer no more. I was like, that's it? I was like, okay, I can't deal with that.
Nice.
I can deal with that. Not that I couldn't deal with the other thing, but I could deal with that. And so that was that. That was that. And then we took track full on. I say we because it was literally him and I for like 3 or 4 years straight. Yeah. Just going hard in the paint. So we took one track together, and this is where he is now.
Yeah, and like he had told me, because like, so like fun fact, like the day like that I had quit, right? Mm-hmm. Like I was supposed to go to soccer practice like that morning. And so I get to practice, and I'm going to go to track practice, but like my teammates don't know that, my soccer coach.
So they're all like, where's this motherfucker going?
Yeah. So, and my mom, my mom like drives a Porsche. And so she had like let me drive like the car to practice that morning. I'm like, I'm lit. I'm like, I'm chilling. So I get to practice, and my team is all like huddled up and stuff like that. And I don't know if I had talked to my coaches first or like my teammates first, but I was like, hey, like I'm done, like this and that, blah blah blah. And then my 2 friends, they were like both the captain at the time, Joey and Seuss, and they pulled me aside and they're like, hey, bro, like you good? Like, is everything good? Because like they were like really like my mentors like at the school from like when I first got there. Mm-hmm. And like I was like, yeah, like I'm good. Like I just feel like this is the like best decision for me. And like they're like, all right, well, like like we wish that like we could still play with you, but like like we support you. And he's like, and they were like, like just like go like do your thing. And I was like, yeah, like I'm going to USC. And like I had no idea at the time. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, like I'm going to USC. Like this is gonna be my thing. And like they were like all for it. Yeah, like and I'm still like cool with them to this day. So
yeah, how is like being like a soccer player kind of first almost made you into a better athlete? I've also been like kind of introduced to the soccer world because my boyfriend plays soccer, and I never really like grew up with it or anything like that. And I feel like every time I meet a soccer player, like they're just such like a good human being. I feel like that community and that sport are just very kind souls and very kind people. So how is that transferred over to track?
Like I think like definitely playing soccer like in this country, like I feel like it's a lot different than playing it in a different country or playing it in Europe. So like I feel like a lot of like, you know, like that like community-ness, like that whole like vibe comes from that all like mutual like understanding. It's like, yeah, like I'm like playing the sport, but I don't have the same like opportunity and the same path like to be able to like go pro as like other people do in like in different countries. But in terms of the whole like sports side, I think I'm a way better athlete. I like because of it. Like I think like soccer is one of the like hardest sports to play, and it's a grind, like 45-minute halves of just like non-stop you know, playing. Like definitely like when it comes to track and field, like I feel like my body can handle like a lot more than like most track kids' bodies can handle. And my dad knew that. He pushed me like that. So, like I kind of got it double to where with like the way that I kind of trained in high school, and then like when I kind of got to college and stuff like that, like none of the stuff was really foreign to me. Like everything, like, you know, like I knew I could handle it, and I knew that like you know, like I could attack it. So yeah, like I think it's like definitely made me just a like overall better athlete for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's good. So when we closed the book on soccer in high school, obviously you had goals. What was some of the biggest, what was your biggest accomplishments in high school? What are some of the biggest races you've been a part of?
Biggest races. Okay.
Gotta think about it, yeah.
So senior year, I think one of the coolest things was like when I went to Texas A&M and I got to run like the 60 and the 200 for the first time. And that was kind of my first meet as a full-time track athlete. And it was my first meet like on that type of like indoor bank track. And that was cool. Like I did like pretty well. And like I was in like the 200 with a kid named John Rutledge who runs at Texas, like, and we're still cool. So like I thought that was pretty cool. And then moving on from that, one of my teammates now, Jalen Knox, we like race each other a grip of times like senior year, and we've been like knowing like each other since we were like little kids. So like that kind of us like going back and forth like senior year, and then like us being teammates now, and he's like probably like my best friend out here. That like that's pretty dope, like looking back on it. And then in terms of like specific races, 200 race like at Tribuco Hills, that was the first time I ran 20 point. So my PR like before that was 21:30s, and I ran 20.78 that day. And I feel like that's when I kind of like I was already like pretty good like before that, like I was already signed like and committed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like at the time, that was the like #1 time in the country, and that's when like I really like jumped on the scene, like, you know, like I'm like for real, like I'm legit, because it was pretty like early on too. So and then that year I had won Arcadia in the 100 and 200, which was pretty big. My junior year, like I had won the 200 and I lost the 100. So for me to like come back and win like the 100 my senior year in like a pretty stacked field, like if you like look at that race, like I think like everybody in that race went like D1 in like whatever sport. So that was pretty cool. And then 20.6 at CIF finals. I think like that's my favorite like high school race. Like my dad likes my Tribuco race, but that 20.6 race, I feel like I was just on a whole nother like level of like locked in. And I think I ran a pretty good race. So yeah. Okay,
so you're going back to your junior year.
Yeah.
Remember, was it Arcadia or was it the state championships? I think it was the state championships where you raced and you ran like 10:50. No, it was Arcadia. That was Arcadia.
Yeah, that was.
You remember the conversation? I was like, dude.
Yeah.
You made it.
Yeah.
So you ran 10:50s and you made it. You weren't thinking small at that time.
Yeah. So at that time, I was still playing soccer. Like Arcadia was like my like third or fourth meet. So the week before that, like I had ran 10:7 and like 21:7. And so I'm like going into like Arcadia feeling good. I'm like, I just ran 10:7. I'm good, right? And it's like in the whole like grand like scheme of things, like 10:7 is fast, but like nowhere near like the type of level that I would like end up being at. So I'm going into like Arcadia, and the 4x1 pass, like we never really had like a good team. So like we like ran the 4x1, and then I ran the 100, and I ran 10:58.
10:56 or 10:58, one of the two.
Yeah, like one of the right. And then like I'm thinking like cool, like I got second, like whatever, like 10:5 is fast, cool. Like, you know, like I was like, you know, like I was happy with it. So I get off the track, right? I get off the track. My dad is lit. He's like, dude, you can go to any school you want. And I was like, for real? Like he was like, yeah, like for real. And then I was like, Dad, like I'm gonna go win the 200. And he was like, all right, like let's go get it. And I like it's so funny because that 200 race I think was one of the worst, most poorly executed races I've ever ran in my life, and I won it. Like I ran a great curve, and like the whole second 100 I was panicking. I was like, like I thought they were gonna get me. But I won it, and so yeah, like that was a really fun day. Like that was the kind of like first day where it was like, all right, like Max is legit. Like Max, Max is like a rock.
He became state leader.
Yeah,
he was California state leader after that 200.
Yeah. And at the time, like track wasn't my like main sport. Like I was still like a soccer player. So like the whole thing was like this soccer kid is the best like track kid in California. But like what people didn't know like at the time was my dad ran track, and my dad's a great track coach. So like even though I was playing soccer, I was like, I was like always ready. Yeah. Like more than, like a track kid that may have been like at like a different sport would be, because like I had the best coach.
So you mentioned that they were coming to get you in the 200-meter race in Arcadia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up some names to you.
Yeah.
And I want to know what you feel about these names.
Yeah.
Patrick Izeyama.
Okay, yeah. So Patrick runs at Oregon. He had beat me in the 100 on that day, and I think that was the last time he beat me until last year at Pac-12, and he beat me in the 100 final.
Really?
So I was really pissed, but I was glad that like I had like lost to somebody that like I have real love for, like I really care about. Yeah. But yeah, like me and Patrick have been running like against each other since we were younger as well, and he's always been cool. And we have a pretty good like relationship too. So yeah, Patrick's cool. I like Patrick.
Roderick.
So Roderick, I don't think Roderick ran that arcade. Yeah, no, like he didn't run until state. But like another kid, he plays football at Oregon. Like he runs as well. Extremely talented. Like this dude ran 20.5 in the 200 as a sophomore in high school.
Talk about a little bit about that race.
Yeah,
you were in that race when you ran 20.59.
Sure was. I ran 21-3 that race. Like I think I was ready to go 20 point. I don't think I was gonna go 20. Like I don't think there was nothing that I could have done to run 20.5. But if I had knew what my dad like was trying to like teach me at the time, I would have ran 20 point. But that day, Roderick and Damani, they will be pretty bad that day, and that kind of fueled my whole like off season, because I don't like losing, and I definitely don't like getting whooped. So I worked my ass off like in that summer and that fall, like to be able to come back and do what I did my senior year.
What goals do you set for yourself each year and each season? After a season ends, what are you going to do next year? I mean, obviously get faster, but what else are you preparing for? Yeah,
so really like the main goal is just right now, like my goal for this season is to not lose a race for the whole year. But the last time I really had a time goal was my senior year, and my time goals were 10.2 and 20.4. And like as much as I think like I should have hit them, like I did it. And my dad kind of like always told me like time goals, like like that's not the way to do it. And so really like since then, like I never really put like a time on it. Like I look at time goals as like kind of like limits. It's like even last week, like when I had ran like 6:53, I had no idea that I was gonna run that fast. Like I thought maybe 6:57. So like if I had put a time goal like on that, who knows like what would have happened. So my goals are just to really go out and compete and win, because like I know like I'm prepared to be like anybody that I line up with. So it's just all about having the proper execution and the times are caught.
You throw 6:53 like it's just nothing.
Yeah.
You ran 6:53, and this is the number one time in the country. Like what was that feeling like?
Yeah, I went. Okay, so like some background. My whole thing is like I'm a top end speed like kind of guy. So like coming out the blocks and the whole like 60, that was not my thing. Like really like and it didn't click for me until last year. But it didn't click for me like last year while like, we were like running indoors. So we were running like indoors, and I'm running 6.8s like every week, and I'm pissed. I'm like I'm slow. I don't know what's going on. I don't know like. But I just had to like get out of my head. But so like going into this year, I kind of knew that like those days of being terrible like at the 60 like we're gonna be done. I just didn't know how fast I was actually gonna run. Like I knew like it was gonna be fast. I just didn't know like how fast it was gonna be. So I ran 6:61 in the prelim, but like I didn't like react to the gun. So it was like everybody went like, and then like I went like after.
Really?
Yeah. So like I was like, okay, cool. And then in the super fast prelim heat, like the kid that had won it, he had ran like 6:57. So like I was like, look, like if I like react, like
when it actually goes off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I just like react to the gun, like I'm gonna win. So we get to the final and I'm like sitting at the line and they were holding us at the line for a long time. And I'm like, you know, like just react and let's put them away. And I'm just like constantly like repeating to myself, like put them away, like and react and put them away. So the gun goes off and I react. I was out. And since like, you know, like I'm like a taller guy, it's a little bit like different for me, like coming out the blocks. Like I can't really like attack it the same way as like a shorter guy. So like my teammate Travis and David Foster from Cal, they had both like transition like better like than I did. So at like 30 meters, like I was behind. But like my coach like always tells me, like he's like, look, like you don't have to be like with them, like you just got to be close enough because my top end speed is so good. Like if I'm close enough, like I'm gonna win, like just like off my natural like ability. So I come out of my drive, I was probably like a step behind, and I went to go get him, like, and I put him away, like I said I was gonna do. And I knew it was fast because it felt fast. I was like, that shit. I was like, that was fast. And I didn't see the flash time, but the flash time was 6:49. And so like normally it like time will like go up like after that, but like I didn't see like the flash time.
Okay.
And if I had saw that, like I would have probably went nuts. And I went nuts anyway. If I saw that, I'd probably went nuts. So I'm like waiting for the time to pop up. And it says 6:53 new D1 like 2025 number one time. And I saw that and I was like, hell yeah. It was really reassuring for like, especially like with the 60 and like what I've been through like with that race, like in high school running like 7 flats and 6 9s, and then coming to college, and I had a pretty decent like opener like in my first race in college, and then like after that it just never really clicked for me again. And then like sophomore year was just it was not good at all. So like, you know, like what I've been through with like that race, it was just kind of like a full like circle moment to the point where it's like, all right, you know, like all that like lifting in the weight room, like all those days of like figuring out my block settings, and like, you know, like all those days going into Coach JB's office and saying, Coach, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It was just like a real like full like circle moment, and it really felt that like everything was paying off. Yeah. So I just need to carry that for the rest of the season and for the rest of my career.
I can tell you what I was like. So watching that race and knowing the troubles that he's had all every year in the 60, to see him get out to a 6.61 in the prelim, and he said he didn't react. Yeah. And I was like, this dude ran 6.61 and he didn't react. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is about to go 6.5. Yeah. And I thought if he went 6.6, like that would be an amazing feat for him just to begin with to start the season, because he's always struggled in this race. And to see him run 6.61 without a reaction, like this dude may go 6.5. Yeah. And then in the finals, he got out. And then he, I would say like you said, about 30, 40 meters out, it was like maybe like a half step behind. Yeah. And I was like, this dude about to win this shit. Yeah. And so he won it, and then the time comes up, and he did like a hell yeah pole.
What did you do?
I did the same thing. I think you went to my office today, right? And I yelled out, hell yeah. Probably everyone in the whole office heard me. Everyone down that whole hallway heard me. I went outside, I do a happy dad dance, and I come back, I'm like, okay. And then I think you ended up texting me a little bit later.
I had like I couldn't even like look at my phone. Like my phone was blowing up.
Yeah. That I can only imagine.
Yeah. So when I had finally went, like got my lunch, sat down, like talked to my coach, like when like everything was calm, I had like went on my phone, and before like I like looked at anything, like I called my dad, and I called him and he picked up and he was yelling off.
What were you yelling?
So I would say probably for 2 minutes we were just saying hell yeah back and forth. And then we sat and talked, you know, like we do after like every race. But like I think that was like a really dope like moment for me, because like I called my dad like after like my races, like no matter what, like if I have like a good race, like a bad race, like I talked to my dad.
That's awesome.
And like he's always there for me, like no matter what. So, like for me to be able to like call him, like knowing like what had just happened, that had made me really happy.
Made me happy too, dude.
Yeah.
Made me super happy. So yeah, man, hell of a start to your season, dude.
Yeah.
Super proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. How is just, I guess you guys have such a good relationship, just father and son, coach and athlete. How has it grown over the years, and what have you done to kind of keep that relationship? Obviously, talking after each meet and each everything, but yeah, how do you just keep that? That's a great.
Say that because we talked about maturity earlier, and so this guy goes from me telling him, Max, get the fuck out of my practice. Get out of my practice too. Like I said, he's a team captain now. Like his maturity level is through the roof compared to where he started at. And so just to see his growth, his maturity, the way he prepares, like I ask him for tips for my kids that I still coach. Like, how do you prepare for a meet so I can teach my kids new things?
Right.
Because a lot of methods I have are old and I keep up with some of the new things, but his growth has taught me to, take a step back and ask him, like, what are you doing that makes you so successful that I can take back to my kids? So we talk about things like that. We talk about track. We talk about just about everything.
Yeah.
Just about everything. So, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but
yeah, I mean, with both my parents, I think like I have some of the best two parents that like anybody could ask for. So I know like both of them like are gonna like support me like no matter what, and I know that they're there like no matter what. So like I never really hesitate to call.
Yeah.
I'd say like I talk to my dad like at least like 3-4 times a week, if not more, just because like we're so similar.
His mom used to say, like, you guys are two peas from the pot.
Yeah. we're so freaking similar just because I spent so much time with him like growing up. So like, like a lot of the like life skills I had, like a lot of the, like the like way I act, like the way I treat people, like a lot of that like comes from like my dad. So it's really like my dad is one of the like few people that really like understands me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a lot like him. I do have my tendencies. Yeah. I have a lot of my mom's tendencies.
Which are good tendencies, by the way. Which are really good tendencies.
Great tendencies. I have a lot of my mom tendencies, a lot of my dad's tendencies, like a lot of like my own tendencies that are like kind of like mix of both. Especially as like a track athlete, like as a competitor, and just really like as like a man, like I can like relate to my dad on like so many levels. So like I definitely like knew like going to college, like I knew like the like relationship was never gonna really fade, just cause like the love goes both ways, and like I've never had to question that, and like I knew like my parents were probably gonna be like a little scared.
I thought the opposite. I thought because you were so thirsty to be independent.
Yeah.
When you left high school, I thought we were never going to hear from you.
See, that's what they always think about. They're like, oh shit, I'm on my own now.
Well, yeah, I mean, like when I was in high school, like I didn't have like no siblings or like none of that. Like I was that kid that never wanted to be at home. I was always with my friends, but like like I was a kid, and I wanted to have fun like all the time. But like definitely like being in college definitely gave me like, I wouldn't say it changed like my perspective, but it just kind of like gave me like more like perspective, like just like on people like in general. Like I've always been in like such a loving like environment. Well, college was kind of like the first time where like I've been like around people that like they don't care, So I think like especially for somebody like me, it's really like important for me to stay connected to my parents. So
that's really cool. That's really awesome. Yeah, because like you guys said, like you're so similar, and sometimes that can break or make a relationship.
We've had our moments.
Oh yeah,
we've had our moments.
I can imagine.
But definitely though, like now that I'm like not in the house, like we don't really have those moments anymore.
That's how it is. That's how I am with my mom, because it was just me and my mom in the house. Man, we fought all the time. And then I went to college. I was like, oh, I miss you so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely had our moments. I think one thing that we did well when I was his coach was we left everything at the track. So there was very few instances where if I was disappointed with him at a soccer game or at a track meet or whatever it is, I coached him, because I think I coached everything. I coached him everything. He played basketball,
everything.
Soccer.
Yeah, everything.
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 I'm talking like I joined my freaking club team, and I'm like, yes, my dad's not my coach. And then my dad's my speed coach like the next week, and he's training the whole team. I'm like, this, bro, you're kidding me.
I can't get away.
Can't get away from this guy.
So we did a great job of leaving everything at the track or on the field. And so when we got home, I think we kind of had a really good relationship off of the sports aspect. I think I would like to learn more about you, because most of our conversations are dominated by sports. last year, I think it was last year, we started doing something a little bit different, doing fine dining together, and where we could just do something totally different. I'll enjoy like a good whiskey or something like that, and have a good steak, and then he'll
get steak.
and then we'll just have a good conversations. We haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
But I think it's something we probably got to get back to because I get to learn more about them outside.
Do you guys try to like stay away from sports topics like at the dinner?
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like so much of like who I am is dominated by sports.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I don't think that's a bad thing. So I don't think it'd be really difficult for us to like shy away from something, like especially with something like track, just because there's so many different like aspects, and I think like we both have so much knowledge like about it. Mm-hmm. So it just like always feels good to like talk to somebody and gain like new perspective, and like you kind of know that, you know, like they're gonna kind of have like the same ideas and their head might be like in the same space. So yeah, like I think like I definitely like cherish that part. Yeah.
What was your mental state through your injury?
I don't know, like honestly, my friends and stuff will say like I was kind of tripping, and my coaches would say I was tripping, but like I feel like I was pretty good. It was really my like first time being really hurt, like actually hurt to the point where like I can't compete. So like I got hurt like running the 4x1, and I was really like excited like about the 4x1 because they had won the previous year, and I felt that like I was a better like addition to the team. So I was like, we're definitely yeah, like I had gotten hurt like during the relay, and I was so pissed. Like I was hot, I was mad, I was like I can't even like explain what was like going through my head. But like my dad was there because it was the first meet like of the season, like the first like outdoor meet. So my dad was there, my mom was there, like most of my friends were there, my grandma was there, like everybody was there.
Yeah.
So like being able to like see them and talk to them definitely kept my head good. Like I still had to be like grateful like that they showed up, because yeah, like a lot of my teammates, like a lot of their family can't like, you know, like go and like watch them run like on a weekly basis like that. So I was still super grateful. I had talked to my dad, I had talked to some family, I had like talked to my friends, and I feel like I was in like a pretty good headspace. And then like after that, it was just about like, okay, like learning how to like get back from injury, and like learning how to prevent it. So like I think like after that, I just became like as like well versed like as I could be on preventing myself from getting hurt. Mm-hmm. We had really like excellent trainers, so they made that process really simple, really nice and easy, and I was able to learn a lot from them. So yeah. A
lot of people, they just can't come back from injury like that, especially like if they're scared of getting hurt. So.
That was the main thing. So like I like ended up coming back that same season. Like I wasn't in, like I didn't compete in the like in like the whole like collegiate season, mm-hmm. but I had ran at U20 trials because my time from like indoor was still like good enough for me to be in it. So I had ran, and I didn't run good. I actually ran terrible. I actually ran quite bad.
I think you ran better than you thought you ran, because you hadn't ran in over a year. You had competed in over a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so to get there and to still go 21-2 with only training, you only had like a week or two to train?
I mean, kinda. It was a lot of complications with like what I was able to do and what I could have did, mm-hmm. and like that was when like our like coach had left, so we didn't have a sprint coach at the time. So we got like the like leftovers of our head coach and our hurdles coach and like the like volunteer coaches. So I mean, like in that sense, like I did do pretty well, but yeah, like I knew like after that, like I was like, you know, like I'm gonna come back in the fall, like, you know, like I'm gonna work my ass off. But like the difficult part from that was like we went through like all like coaching switch. And like my coach now and like his philosophies are like completely different than like my coach before. So it still took me like a while to learn how to get the most like out of this program.
Yeah.
So that was a whole another like learning curve. So I was like coming off an injury, and then it was like a coaching switch, and I'm grateful for like all of that, because I don't think I'd be like where I am now if I didn't go through both of those things.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's about it, man.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's
Thank
dope.
you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Once again, I'm Coach Brandon.
I'm Michaela Nagel.
And this is The Run.
Follow, subscribe, like, do what you do, and we'll see you guys next time.